Brain box.
I'm just trying to buy a Thai Karen. I'm at Burlington for half a second and this lady comes at me aggressively shouting that she needs help in layaway. I just replied okay, might want to ask someone that works here and walked off. She chased me down. I'm wearing a polo with my company logo. Everyone that works here is dressed nicer than I am. I definitely do not look like I work here and said I need help. Me, I'm sure you do, but pointing to the logo on my shirt I still don't work here, they are dressed nicer. She just went to tell the manager I won't help her. Y'all, I was lying to pay for my stuff and she was still trying to get me written up. The manager just replied, ma'am, she doesn't work here. I'm too young to work here. This happened a few years ago, but here is some backstory. My mom worked at a small, but somewhat tour in my large city and they wore an oddly colored work shirt. The shirt will be important later. Sometimes I helped her stock her section for fun. When I came over, I was a normal height for a 10-year-old then. After helping my mom, a lady came over to me and asked, where are the dies? Me, IDK, I don't work here. Lady, I just saw you stock the shelves. You must work here. Me, all the employees wear a shirt with the store name on it. See, I don't have one. Lady, yes you do, I just saw you stock the shelves. After that my mom came over. Mom, is there a problem? Lady, this employee is not doing his job and won't tell me where the dies are. Mom, he is my kid. He is only 10. You have to be 15 to work here. Lady, you're lying. He's just a short 14-year-old. Mom, no he's. Lady interrupts and says, I'm done with this lying. I will never come back because of this employee who won't work. She never came back and she just left uneventfully. Moral of the story, listen to the actual employees. I wasn't even wearing red. This isn't really exciting or all that, but I thought I should share. I was shopping at Target and I think I was buying socks, bras, shampoo, and conditioner and all that good stuff. I was wearing a white shirt and blue jeans, and I had a cart full of the stuff I was going to buy. I believe I was in the socks and underwear section and a lady approached and asked if I work here. Confused I said no, and she just smiled awkwardly and walked away. Nothing exciting but thought it was funny. Look at what I'm wearing. My ADHD express in writing. I tend to skip word, bad spelling, autocorrect/fill can't live without it, and bad grammar. I work in a retail warehouse, so I wear T&J most days. As most people know, warehouse are dirty and it get on everything. So after work I look like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Now I'm a computer geek. Programming, hardware, 3D printing and most things. I try and keep up. I like to browse at my local computer store after work. Check out what's come down into reasonable $ range. This woman looks at me like, are you going to help me? I ignore her. Salespeople here work on commission, so I don't like taking that away from them. Besides, they dress in business casual. I'm looking at Raspberry Pi as she come over and stand right behind me. I felt like the typical vampire movie. Cue Takata and Fugue with lighting and arc shadow behind me. Yes? Do you work here? Nope, sorry. Well you should. As snidely as she can and storms away. I think I'm on the autism spectrum, but even I could tell that she meant it that. If it's a technical question I can help. Silly me for still trying to be nice. You can't help me. She sneered. Okay then, mutter to myself, I'm really glad I can't. There is no help for you. Okay, not the most exciting, but she really got to me. People think I have a problem with detail, ADHD, but even I know to check what they are wearing and their name tag for store information. Edit, thank for the upvotes. I didn't mean for this to turn into a red thread. I just put it out there so when I do miss a words and had spelling problems people wouldn't be too irate. The lady didn't work there. Not my story, but a friend of mine. A few years ago, a friend of mine found himself on a remote Scottish island on a field trip as part of his geology degree. A couple of days after arriving was Sunday, and the island's only pub wasn't open on the Lord's Day. But the intrepid student set off into the wilds to get stoned, sick, After a while they started playing the knife/finger game, or whatever it's called, stabbing the knife between outspread fingers. When this became too boring, said friend F decides to up the ante by using a geology hammer. In such situations bad decisions are made, and F decides to substitute fingers for his cock. The obvious happened. The only doctor on the island wasn't available until the next morning, so F decides to wrap up his beaten and bloody manhood and self-medicate until the morning. Morning arrives, and F gets himself to the surgery where, slightly toasted, he explains his predicament to the stern-looking receptionist. At which point, stern lady announces, "I'm no the receptionist, I'm here for the doctor." Missile cue much embarrassment. Worse was to come. That night, the students head to the pub, where there were sounds of much laughter, and when they walked in, stern lady said, "That's him." The pub went silent. It was a long week. I was asking for it. This is a fun one, enjoy. So I work for a retail chain, in the service station division. So my uniform is almost the same as the supermarket division. A long-running joke I have pulled on my customers is to tell them in a very serious voice when they walk in with alcohol that, "Sorry, we don't allow alcohol in here. I'm going to have to confiscate that of you." I usually get a look of disbelief and then a sly smile when they realize I'm joking. Just keeping my customers on their toes. I'm yet to convince anyone to hand over their sweet grog, but the closest was not at my work. I usually go shopping after work at the local supermarket, yes our chain, and this day I was standing around looking at what I wanted to get. A couple walk past, the guy has a 6-pack in hand. I just think what the heck, so put on my authoritarian voice and go, "I'm sorry, we don't allow alcohol in here, so I'm going to have to confiscate that off you." To my surprise the guy starts handing it over before his partner held back his hand and pointed out that I did not work here. So close. Yes, this is more you don't work here lady. But I thought it would be a nice change. Edit. I see people are quite taken back. I used to get to do this quite often as I worked next to a pub. I was reminded of this because a guy came in this week with a cask of wine. We had a laugh, ended up chatting. I do it in good humor, never ever try to take the alcohol and have a smile on my face. Most people cotton on pretty quickly, and that is why it works. I'm not trying to fool anyone. Man mistakes a kid for an employee and keeps asking where cornflakes are. So I was minding my own business in a grocery store when an old man approached me. I figured he needed some help in finding his products. Old man. Hi, do you know where cornflakes are? Me, you mean cornflakes, sir? Yes, cornflakes. So, to help this old man out I redirect him to the aisle where cornflakes are. These aren't cornflakes. Me, they are sir, look, it even says on the price tag cornflakes. But I need cornflakes. You're an employee, you should know where cornflakes are. Me, sir, I helped you find cornflakes, but I'm not an employee. Just so you know, it should be fairly obvious that I'm a 13-year-old wearing pretty stupid clothes and don't have a job. Okay, thanks for the help I guess. I go back to picking up items from Miles. 20 seconds later he comes back to me and asks, where are cornflakes? Me, sir, I already redirected you to the aisle. It's right there, and I point to the aisle. Those aren't cornflakes. Come on, you work here. This is bad customer service. I'll talk to your manager. Me, talk to him as much as you want. I don't work here. I get it. He's old and all, but bruh. I don't work here, but you can have one of my rings. This happened a long while ago, but I remembered it and thought I'd share it here. I hope it's okay. I was walking around Walmart and I had on my work uniform and a blue jacket. I work at a fast food restaurant, so it would be easy to confuse me from behind with the slacks and shoes that workers here wear along with my jacket. Anyways, I was in the craft section looking for colored pencils and a woman pulls me aside. "Excuse me miss, where are the sewing supplies? I just passed by it. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I think it's over there. I don't work here." I pointed over on the left, and she caught a glimpse of my rings. I wear them around quite frequently, and I love making them. They're wire wrapped. Ooh, where did you get those? Those look really beautiful. Sorry, I thought you did. I told her how I make them and that I didn't mind her having one. I gave her a black one with purple beads wrapped around a bigger purple bead. She looked really happy with it as she walked away. I wonder where that ring is now. Sometimes. Wholesome IDWH at Wally World. I was at Wally World with my boyfriend's mom, his little 6-year-old brother and his 18-year-old sister shopping for food and last minimum Easter stuff. A lady came up to us in the cereal aisle and this convo happened. Lady, I know you guys don't work here, but do you know where the pudding is? Me, usually I find it in the snack aisle or in the baking aisle. Lady, thank you so much. I've asked some employees and they were busy, but tried to explain to me where it was. Thank you. Walks away. Later at the checkout we seen her and she had the biggest smile and said she found it. I felt so happy making her day.